And if we want to learn what is that process, how to connect with that Supreme Lord, then you need the guidance of somebody who is very close and who knows the mind of God. And so, therefore, unless we have a pure devotee guiding us and instructing us, this is how you have to do the things, you cannot go back to God. And Krishna, the Supreme Lord, what does he expect from us? He expects and he demands total surrender. Only then is he willing to reveal himself and to re-establish our lost relationship with him. Without that aspect of total surrender, Krishna is unwilling to have anything to do with us. So, when we say total surrender means readiness without any hesitancy to follow every instruction of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, there can be no situation where we can say, no, sorry, I cannot do this. Now, if I have to learn to become totally surrendered to the Supreme Lord, now I have to get trained, because I have been trained in the opposite way. I have been trained to become independent and do what I feel like doing. Forget about what others think. So, now I have to reverse my whole conditioning that I have got into in this material world. I have to reverse that conditioning and come to the situation where I will say, whatever you say, I am ready to do, whether I like it or not. So, if I have to come to that now, my training cannot happen by going to the Supreme Lord and then he will say, tell something, I follow that, then half I follow, half I don't follow. Then the Lord has to again correct me, and my whole training goes on like that. So that cannot happen. Somebody else has to first train me. If I need to know how to talk to the Prime Minister and how to, just like you see, when every year the government announces various awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and all that. Now, when those awardees, when a person, it is announced that so and so person XYZ has got the Padma Shri or the Padma Bhushan award, then what happens is, before the actual award ceremony takes place, there is a lot of activity that happens. All the awardees are called to the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and a trial is taken. They are trained how to receive the award, where they have to sit, how they have to walk, and what is the cue for them to get up and start walking from their seat, and which direction, where they have to go and stand, and when the president hands over the award, how to receive it, how long to stand there, and wait for all the photographs to be taken. All these things are trained. And they take several sessions, train everyone, and that's how you see when the ceremony happens, every awardee, when his name is called, he will come in a particular way, he'll come and stand in a particular place. Where exactly he has to stand, he knows, he comes and stands, the way they receive and the way they go back, everything is coordinated. Now, if this much has to happen, a lot of training should have happened beforehand. You cannot expect that, okay, I got the award, I'll go there and I'll try out. If some mistake happens, let the president train me at that time, correct me, then I'll go and redo. You cannot do that. So, training has to happen offline. It has to happen before the event. Similarly, our relationship with Krishna, we cannot go to the spiritual world and start making mistakes and learn there. We have to be trained here. And so when the training has to happen here, who does the training? The Supreme Lord, Krishna, has delegated it to the spiritual master. So the prime duty, the most important duty of the spiritual master is to train the disciples how to relate with the Supreme Lord, how to act in one's relationship with the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Therefore, the spiritual master like Prabhupada, when they come, they demand total surrender unto themselves. We have to surrender fully to the spiritual master. When we get trained how to surrender fully to the spiritual master and obey every command of the spiritual master implicitly, then what happens? We become ready to go and connect with the Supreme Lord directly. Then that same surrender gets transferred to him. Now, even the spiritual master is not an ordinary person. The spiritual master is also a very great person. There also, to the spiritual master, you cannot go and commit mistakes. If we go and tell the spiritual master, sorry, I cannot follow your instruction, I have a different opinion, I disagree, let us agree to disagree. All these things, if you tell to the spiritual master, it will become an aparadha. Your spiritual life will get spoiled. So what happens is, the spiritual master sets a hierarchy, he sets a, like Srila Prabhupada set a wonderful institution, where there are devotees and I am doing my service and I have my superior to whom I report to. So, if I have to develop that kind of surrender attitudes towards the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord, then I also have to express the similar kind of mood of obeying the instructions to my superior also. So, whether to Krishna or to the spiritual master or to my superior, to anybody if I say that, sorry, I cannot follow your instruction, I disagree, I am not ready to follow, then that means our disease is not cured. Then it will take a long time for us to develop spiritually and go back to Godhead. So what will happen if with that mood I go and surrender to Prabhupada? Prabhupada will say, just like in English, Prabhupada used to give this example many times. If you love me, then first love my dog. That's the principle. So, if I go to Prabhupada with a mood of lack of surrender towards my superior devotee, what Prabhupada will say? Before coming and surrender to me, first you learn how to surrender to him. So, first you do your thing properly wherever you are, then you come to me. So, we have to understand the first qualification of a disciple is without any hesitancy, readiness to follow every instruction, whether I like it or not. This is the example set forth by Arjuna himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Initially, he was not willing to fight, but when he understood Krishna wants the fight, although Arjuna in his heart, he had no heart to fight, he had no inclination to fight, he had no desire to fight, he did not want to fight, he disliked the war. But when he understood that Krishna wants this, he said, okay, if Krishna you want, I am ready, I'll fight. Although I don't like it, I'll still fight. This mood we have to develop is very, very important if we have to go back to Godhead. If we retain our disease of I will do only what I like and I will not do what I dislike, then we have to understand that our liking and disliking is according to the influence of the three modes of material nature. So therefore, my activities will continue to remain under the jurisdiction of the three modes of material nature. In other words, whatever I am doing will continue to remain material. If I have to develop spiritually and go back to Godhead, all my activities have to become spiritual. If they have to become spiritual, then what is required? My actions have to be beyond the three modes of material nature. The only way to ensure that my actions are beyond the three modes of material nature is to learn how to follow instructions despite my likings or dislikings. If I am very fortunate, the instruction which I receive will be according to my liking. That is my good fortune. If if due to some reason I get an instruction which I don't like to follow, that is an even greater fortune. Why? Because I can practice coming out of the influence of the three modes of material nature.